Yay, back on the plot. Now, the reason why I haven't been doing many videos, even though I have been doing lots of work, is because I dropped my phone and cracked the screen, I think, and it stopped working. I've kind of got it working, hopefully a new phone soon, and be back to making regular videos. What I'm doing today is this. It's very early in the morning, I've got a hospital appointment in a couple of hours, so I'm finishing off this, and I'll show you what it is in a moment when I explain it with some other words, because this one's blue-peated. It's partly done, and I'll quickly explain what it is and how it is and why it is the shape and length it is. Right, let's get going. Right, why is that bed got lumps of wood on it and they are a certain length? Now this is quite easy to explain. The wood, you can see loads of it under my bench there, all comes from pallets. Okay, so wooden pallets that have been broken up. Now I've got tons of it under there. I had 2 pallets, and luckily it's double-sided with loads of wood. Broke it all up at home, brought it up in the car, boom, done. Well, wife brought it up in the car. I don't drive. The lengths are 1.2 meters, which is perfect. The reason being is, let me move over to this one. If you see the membrane, these are 1.2 meters wide. So those bits of wood are 1.2 meter. So what we do is we use 1.2 meters this way and then 2 lengths of it that way, and we get a perfect bed where we can just lay the membrane at the end of the season down, and that's it. It's as simple as that. And why 1.2 meters? Well, because you can get membrane at 1.2 meters, and also roughly half a meter is easy enough to reach over a bed and do the weeding from each side. So you can go on one side, do half the bed this way, then move over to the other side and do half the bed that way, sort of thing. So I find 1.2 meters is perfect. The length doesn't matter. That's however, you could do it all the way across if you wanted to. It's up to you. Well, I just wanted a path down the middle because it looked nice. Right, so what I'm going to do is build a bed for this one. What you need, or what I'm using, is 6 1.2 lengths of pallet wood, 4 wooden stakes made from old battens, and 2 joiners, which I'll show you what they are in a second, made from old pallet wood that was not as good, so shall we say, broken bits of pallet wood and cut down to make joiners. Now what I mean by that, so what we do is we get 1 piece of wood, and you can see we screw, or you can nail, whichever you like, the stake on both ends. And then this gets hammered into the ground up there and up here. You then take your 2 bits of wood, and you put, as you can see, screw or nail the joiner in to hold them together, and then you attach that to the stakes. So you've got to imagine this stake's been drilled into the ground, and you attach it to the stake here. So you drive this in first, and then you just attach it. So this one isn't actually staked in. Sometimes I'll put a stake in there as well and screw it in, but I'll do that after it's all been put together. And then you just repeat the same on this side, and then lastly you put the last one of those in. Don't put both ends in first because they never match up. So do one end, do one length or both lengths, and then put that in at the end, and then just screw it all together, and that's it, it's done. So all we got to do first is take one of these, put your stakes into it, and you just put them right at the top and then right on the edge, so you can put your plank on here, and that's all you got to do, and you can build. This costs me to make this wooden bed 5p for the screws. That's it, all the wood's reclaimed. So pallet wood, this wood to make the stakes is old roofing batting. You get it in skips all over the place because builders are always replacing. If you look for someone that's getting a roof replaced, you'll find lengths of this in skips. It's not the best wood because you can see it's starting to come to its end of life, but it will last the time that these take to rot. So like I said, 5-10p at maximum, and that's the cost of the screws I use. Like I say, you can do it with nails, but I just prefer to do screws so I can take it all apart again, move it and reuse it elsewhere if I want to. If I do it with nails, it splits and makes a mess and stuff. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do here. So I'm going to make a new frame to go around this one, remove all the stuff out, and what I tend to do is I usually dig a tiny little trench around so I can sink it in a little bit. When bashing the tops of these battens in, I would highly recommend you put a lump of wood that goes across there and then bash them in, because these battens, like I say, this isn't really thick and this is old wood. It's easy to split that, so get another lump of wood, put it on top and bash it in, using that so the force is spread evenly across it so you don't split this, because it's a pain in the bum if you split that when you're trying to bash it in. And then you got to get another batten and build it. And when you make these battens, also stake them. So cut a V on the end, just makes them easier to go into the ground. And if it's a hard dirt, you may find it's a good idea to dig a little tiny hole to get it going before you ruin this. Like I say, it's easy to split these because it's all reclaimed wood. But yeah, there we go. If you want to make your own beds for a fraction of the price, virtually free, that's how I do it. By the way, pallet wood, if it has no markings on, like this one was, this has no markings, it basically means it's domestic wood, which is usually, not 100%, but usually untreated wood, so it's fine to use. Okay? Battens, they have been treated, so be aware they are treated. That's up to you whether you want to take the risk of using treated wood in your allotment. Now, if you don't know, if these are coloured in any way, brown, blue, whatever, they've definitely been treated. Otherwise, if they're international pallets or pallets that are used for abroad, they will have HT, so they have a H and a T on it, and a sort of a brown logo. It's a square logo, and that's HT, which means heat treated, which would be safe to use as well. Most other things are questionable, shall we say. It's up to you whether you use them or not. But definitely steer clear of the blue and the brown ones, because they've got not good chemicals on, shall we say. They're heavily treated. But like I say, if it's clear wood like this in a domestic market, it's usually untreated, which you can usually tell by looking at it. It's usually heat treated or untreated. If it's got the HT marking on it, it means it's heat treated, safe to use. If it's brown or blue, not safe to use. So, but you can look up all this information online. I just want you to be aware. I'll do another video on taking these apart without breaking them, because I cheat. You can probably see, if I bring it very closely, there's actually the nail heads are still in these. So you can guess how I get these apart in seconds. And the reason why I do that, I'll explain in another video. Right, onwards. It's a little visitor who comes and watches me most mornings when I'm here. Oh, off he goes. He goes, "Don't like being filmed, I'm off." Oh, and one other thing. Tools you'll need. Claw hammer. Small electric screwdriver. Obviously you can do it all by hand. This makes it a lot easier. Some of you will recognise the brand. Selection of screws. I do mean a selection because you'll have different lengths of wood, etc. This whole pack, I think it was like a tenner. It was really, or even less, I don't know. It's really, really cheap. And that was from Aldi. I always get Aldi and Lidl mixed up. This one was Aldi. Aldi and Lidl do the same sort of things. Look out for these packs. They are bargains when they come out. They sell very quickly. They do this sort of selection with screws, and they do the same thing with nails. And I won't use all of this stuff. The main ones I use are this one really, and sometimes these. So yeah, so you will need a few tools, obviously, and you will need a saw. I recommend just getting a cheap saw, unless you're going to do lots of sawing. Yeah. So, check your screw. See, that's not long enough. That's too long. Just right. So we make sure it's level. Get the screw. Use our screwdriver. There we go. And then just do that again. When he wants to go in. Make sure we're straight. Yeah. There you go. So you just repeat that on the two end bits, and that's it done. Right, next up, after you've done those, is to make this join. So you just get a bit of wood that can span. Sometimes I put stakes on here as well, so I'll put a stake in there as well, but I'm not bothering at the moment. I might do that at a later date. Again, check your screw length's too long, because the last thing you want is hurting someone while you're weeding and you've got one of these sticking out and you cut yourself. So yeah, so there we go. Where do I do my screwdriver? Remember, don't cheat out or cheap out on the screws. Oops. What I mean by that is, which size screw you use from? That one. Two sort of thing. Otherwise it will twist. Same with the stakes. Don't cheat out. Put two in. Otherwise it will twist when you go to bend it and it'll just pop out. Like I say, can use nails, it's fine. Up to you. Done. Just need to do one more. Fortunately, I've run out of time. I've got to quickly water the plot and get going for my hospital appointment. So the next video I'll catch you up on putting the stuff in the ground, because that isn't the important bit. You can easily ruin it all at that stage. Yeah, but look out for wooden pallets, look out for skips with old roofing battens in, or anything that's like an inch or ½ inch by ½ inch to make your stakes with. You can even split battens to make stakes if you want to. Catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching.